Hello, good evening to you. Oh, it's Thursday and we're back again. It's really nice to have you with us. How are you all doing? Please you come in and say hello to all of our SPtv family. If you're here for the first time, if you're here every Thursday, then it's really, really good to have you with us. How's everyone doing? How are you doing, Shaz?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better today. How are you?
Really nice. We both had quite hectic days with small people in the house and not any time to ourselves. So this is going to be really nice to kind of settle back, enjoy our little chat that we have, and just say hello to some people. And yeah. So what have you been up to since we last spoke 2 weeks ago, Shaz? What have you been up to? You're kind of coming in.
I've been doing my mediumship. I've been focusing on that at the moment. And I have got a spirit fairs coming up as well. But I've just been throwing myself into mediumship. And just going out, getting some fresh air, and just relaxing as well, taking some time out for myself. How about you?
Nice. Same. It's been very busy, lots of circles and more stuff coming up. Yeah, it's been a really, really good time actually. A couple of really nice church services, but it's so inspiring when it's really nice weather because you can kind of go out and just feel that you're kind of interacting with nature. And yeah, it's been lovely. It's been lovely to have some sun. Lovely to have some sun. So shall we say some hellos to some people that are coming in? Our lovely Thursday crew, Living Spiritually crew. Who have we got coming in? So the first person, front and centre, I can see is Stephen Tudor on Facebook from Manchester. How you doing, Stephen? Your first time.
Stephen.
Amazing, Stephen. Hopefully you like what you see. Stick around, make sure you like and subscribe, and then every time there's something good on loads of different programs and speakers, you'll get notified. Really good to have you with us. And hello to Melissa. Hello to Melissa, who's on YouTube, who's liked and shared. Thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Melissa.
Hello, Terry. Welcome, Terry. Good evening to you.
Somebody's put 10p in Shaz. I love it. Oh. And hello to Spirit of Love, who's on YouTube with the most beautiful profile picture. Hello, and saying hello to everyone in the chat. Yes, all your friends are joining. Say hello to them.
Hi, Lynn. Welcome in.
Really good to have you with us. Come on in. And we've got Angie Sowell-Corbello. Very beautiful profile picture. Love that. Loving your work, Angie, on Facebook.
Hello, Caroline. Welcome in.
Hi, Caroline. Really good to have you with us. Really, really good to have you with us. And we've got Laura Grant from Canada. Hey, how you doing, Laura? Who's on Facebook. Really nice to have you join us this evening.
Hi, Stephen. Welcome in.
Stephen from Glastonbury, just down the road. I'm in Dorset, you're in Glastonbury, but it's absolutely glorious there. Beautiful, one of the best places in the world, Glastonbury. Love it. Super. Please do keep.
Not been.
Oh, you've not been to Glastonbury?
No.
We need to fix that, Shaz. We need to do a little. You need to come on tour in the summer. If you can tear yourself away, I know you're really busy at the weekends, but if you can make a trip, it's so worth it.
Okay.
Really nice. There's Mary Magdalene Chapel. There's beautiful places to go around the Abbey. Oh,
it's on my wish list.
We need to do it. We need to do it. Book a nice weekend. Yeah, it's a really nice place to go. And all of the shops as well. Make sure you don't take any credit cards with you because there's so many amazing things in the shops.
It's all the crystals. They're like,
everything your little heart's desire. Yeah, it is really lovely. Oh, you're so welcome, Stephen. Good to have you with us. So in terms of what we're going to try and do things a little bit differently this evening. So for people who are just coming in and joining us, we love your interaction. We love the comments and you getting involved in our conversations. That's exactly what the show is about. What we're going to do is we're going to offer some readings to people who ask really interesting questions. Now, before you all start hammering into the chat, am I going to move house? Am I going to get a new job? Am I going to meet the man of my dreams? If you can make sure that these questions have kind of a soulful, spiritual angle, then that makes the answer really interesting for everyone else who's watching. And you never know, you could be answering a question that somebody is just burning to know about. And that's how these things kind of work. So that's a little challenge for you all in the chat, everyone who's watching, to ask some really interesting questions. And if we answer it and we get drawn to you, we will give you a free reading. How's that sound, Shaz?
Yep, I'm up for it.
Sounds like a plan.
Good evening, Joanne.
Oh, hello to Joanne who's joining us on Facebook. Really good, Joanne Ripper, to have you with us. We are very good, thank you. We are very, very good. So what I'd like to talk about initially, just to kick off and just get the conversation started, is really to talk about the advice that we get. And there's some incredible mediums and some incredible speakers and teachers who are on SPtv, and they give amazing advice, and from the benefit of all of the work they've done over the years. But that's just a question really of kind of what is the best piece of advice or the best lesson that you've learned through your mediumship, and ones that kind of come to mind really quickly. And we all learn every time we work with spirit, and every time we kind of sit, and every time we give a message or we sit in circle, we're always learning. But Shaz, can you think of anything off the top of your head that's really resonated, that you kind of like sits with you as a really good thing?
I'm not the one for really listening because, as you know, I'm fairy, so I'm constantly in a bubble all the time and daydreaming. But I do know that I do get a lot of advice, as I'm doing the mediumship. Always trust your intuition. Always trust what you're receiving. And that's the main thing that I always take on, is trust is an important thing.
Really good. Yeah, that's a nice one. Really good. And have you ever, so I don't know really how your spiritual unfoldment really happened. So Shaz, did you kind of come up through the churches, or did you come into this through mediumship, or did you join a circle first? And how did it all kind of start with you?
Well, I've always been, seeing spirit at a very young age. I was very young when I was a little wee girl. And I sort of, as you're growing up teenager wise and everything else, you don't pay attention to it. But I fell ill. And it was then that it all came flooding back to me. And, and then I started going down the route of joining a circle, through a friend, a family. And, I went into this circle and they welcomed me in. And it was lovely, and I learned from there. And I was learning about energy, and the feeling that you get, and then I started learning cards. I've always had cards; they just sat on a shelf, dusted away, and I thought, time to get them out. And I felt it was time for me to get them out and start my journey properly. And then that's when I fell in love with what I do. I absolutely fell in love with it, and I'm still learning. We're always going to be learning. It never stops. There's so much to learn. There's so much I want to learn. I just find joy in it, and it's a passion of mine. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I just want to keep learning. How about you?
You can tell it's a passion for you, actually. Just like
it is.
And I appreciate last time we were together, it was like thrown in at the deep end, and having to get used to the technology and answering people's questions and doing readings. And I know the readings thing you're familiar with, but this is a different way of doing it. So I really appreciated that, just how amazing you were. It was a joy to work with you last time. So yeah,
it's hard doing it for a screen. It's better one-on-one. The person sitting opposite you feel their energy and what they're feeling, and it's so much better one-on-one. But have to learn for a screen now, so
yeah, it's amazing how it works. Yeah, it's amazing how it all works. But it was really beautiful, and you got a lot of love last week, and second time, and you got a lot of love this week. Hello to lovely Trish. Love your profile picture.
Hello.
But really good. She did do well. Terry's giving you a big hug from Mama Terry there. Yeah, you did. It was absolutely such a joy last time. Yeah, really nice. So yeah, so I suppose for me coming into it, I suppose I was very lucky that I didn't have to come and find spiritualism and find mediumship, because I kind of was born into a family where it was a thing. My mum's a medium, and her mum's mediumistic, chose not to develop it, and that's okay. So yeah, for me, it's just always been a thing. Mediumship has always been a thing in my house. So was never pushed though. It was never pushed for me to go and develop, but it was always kind of, if I ever had any questions, then they'd be answered and kind of encouraged gently. And I'm taking the same approach with my small people. Not pushing it, not making them do anything, but if they have questions, then I will answer them.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice.
I've only just started joining the spiritual church recently. It's been the last few weeks, and I really am enjoying them.
Oh,
it's completely different, because I never could find one near me because I was always moving around, so it was really hard for me to find one and stay put. But now, you know, where they're online, I can join, and it's much easier.
It is lovely, and it's such a nice community. Yeah, I'm a big fan. It's amazing the technology's evolved, that you can join Zoom rooms and people anywhere all over the world. You know, like this evening, we've got people from all over the world who are joining, which is amazing. But yeah, there is something about walking through the doors. It's got a special place in my heart, always will.
Brilliant.
Lovely. So we've got a lovely question from Laura Grant on Facebook, Laura. And your very interesting question is, what is the best way to get your vibrations higher so you can connect with spirit? Really interesting question. So I suppose from a practitioner's perspective, great question, Laura. You're definitely getting the idea here. Amazing. So Shaz, what's your kind of initial thoughts on how you work, how you raise your vibrations?
I love music. Music is my thing. I listen to music all day when I can. And, you know, just having a little dance around, having a sing song, you know.
What kind of music?
Cleaning.
What kind of music?
I'm into all sorts of music. Dance music, 80s music, all sorts, absolutely into everything. That raises my vibrations for me. And just getting out fresh air as well. Yeah, definitely. Nice. How about you?
Yeah, it's good. So I suppose the way that I was taught, so if I'm thinking about working mediumistically, Laura, which I think is what you're probably hinting at, so come back in the comments if that's what you mean, so that you can kind of connect and work with spirit. For me, it's sitting, but rather than sitting to meditate, sitting to elevate. So sitting to consciously connect, sending my attention and my intention to work in that way. And then I suppose because it's a state of practice, really, sitting quietly, and then you set the intention, you raise your vibration internally, and that comes through practice. So the way I learned how to do that was things like sitting in the power. I know it's spoken about a lot, but it's a really good technique. It's a really good technology to get used to doing that. If you don't have access to that, in a pinch, I have been known to jump around in toilets in churches, which sounds a bit strange, but kind of jumping up and down. I've got an amazing piece of music that I was listening to, and it made my mum absolutely wet herself laughing, because I was going to go and serve a church that was on an island, and I was driving across a causeway, and it was in the summer, and it was very busy, and I had both windows open, and I was playing bagpipe music as loud as I possibly could through the car, and she was absolutely beside herself laughing. But that's so it was like bagpipes and Scottish drumming with the Scottish drummers, and it was really, really funny. But that's at that moment, it was like, I need to go take a service. I've had no time to prepare. Somebody's dropped out. Got to head across and do it. I know what I'm going to put on my playlist. So yeah, that's
music, isn't it?
It's
definitely.
It's really good. It's really good, and it's amazing the number of people that use things like shamanic drumming as well. Again, it's that kind of rhythmic, rhythmic. But do you use crystals? Sometimes crystals.
I do. I have a lot of crystals. I use crystals for different things. I have them in my bags, my card bags, each one. I have them next to my bed. I have some in my room. I have a lot of them in my spiritual room. I use crystals for everything, really, and I carry a lot of them on me as well. And I have been using bracelets at the moment because, you know, if you're out of pockets, what do you do?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, bracelets is a good one. Yeah,
it's a really good one. Yeah, that is a really good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, crystals are quite good as well to kind of get that vibration just settled. I tend to use them more for kind of healing if I know I'm going to be going somewhere where somebody's either ill or depleted or post-operative recovery or going through something, and that's purely just as a support, really, just support me. Yeah, really interesting. Super, fantastic, great question, Laura. I hope that answered your question. And if anyone's got anything that they add, if anyone does anything different or has got something to add to the contribution, please do get involved in the conversation. Yeah, this is very, very interactive. And I know we haven't spoken about it for a little while, but we do also have Zoom. So if anyone wants to come on and get involved in the conversation, please do that, because that would be nice. That'd be a treat. Not worked with anyone on Zoom for a little while. So Kim is in agreement. She's got crystals in her purse at all times. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's really good.
I think I just need a rucksack. I need a rucksack for me.
We do. We need lots of pockets. I think witches a long time ago had lots of pockets, didn't they? Little bags and pouches and things that they carried everything in.
Yeah.
And Terry Louise was, it never had too many pockets. And Terry was also saying she needs to get her bracelets out. You need to get on it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not jewelry. You're not buying jewelry for yourself, Terry. These are, you know, spiritual tools. So if it comes under a different spending bracket, that's how I justify it.
Yeah. I wear a lot of protection. As you say, you know, I wear black. So, you know, I have a lot of protection bracelets on me as well. You know, because, you know, I'm going into other people's energy space, and that, you know, people are coming to mine, and you know, I just like to feel, you know, that secure, you know, my own space.
Yeah, it's really good point. Yeah, it's nice. It's amazing what you've got kind of kicking around. Got loads of them on the desk next to me, but the one that I've got from my computer didn't work very well because of technical issues before we started. But you know, we try everything. We try all things.
I have that.
Really good, really nice question. Thank you so much. And if you're drawn to anyone, Shaz, then please do. Who's asking some really interesting questions, because we will be doing some free readings when we get drawn to people. So yeah, please do ask some questions, ask some interesting questions, and then we will get to them, and then we will do some little quick mini reads for you.
Oh, I'll let you answer this one.
Okay, so a really interesting question from Stephen. Stephen Law on Facebook. So how do you distinguish from spiritual messages and your own thoughts? Sometimes I get an idea or image in my head and I question if I put it there or did spirit put it there. I like this one. We had
That's
this.
a good one.
Yeah, really good. We had this, and I can only talk from my perspective, and Shaz, I'm sure, can only talk from her perspective. And I know there's some amazing people who also talk to these subjects. So I just want to put that one out there. But we had this exact thing come up in Circle a couple of weeks ago. And in order to be able to stop the second guessing, we had an agreement that if we're walking into a circle with the purpose of developing spiritually and delivering messages of the highest vibration for the good of the person who's going to receive it, to work with the spirit world and to be a clear channel, on that basis, anything that kind of happens when you're in that state of intentionality of working is something which is being influenced by the spirit world. That's my take on it. There's a heavy caveat on this. So for example, if I'm giving a message and all I can think about is marigolds in a greenhouse, and I go, oh well, my granddad's been on my mind, or I've seen marigolds in the garden, maybe it's me thinking that. My take on that would be, nothing is by accident, and spirit are using either your memories of your granddad and his garden, or the fact that you've seen a marigold today has been planted somewhere in your subconscious, and they're using that as a mechanism to be able to deliver a message or a piece of evidence to something. Or maybe it's their granddad. You know, that's where you and your circle leader will unpick it as you go through your development. There's a heavy caveat on that, and what I would say is that and that's why it's so important for you to do your soul work as well as your spiritual development. That actually sometimes we need to understand our own minds and the tricks that our minds play on us, and maybe some of the thought processes that we have. And so that when you check in, when you first get to a circle, we do a bit of an energy check-in, which is a good part of your spiritual hygiene, that when you go in circle, you sit and you are sitting in your own energy, and you are becoming aware of your own energy, whether you're hacked off, excited, sad, a bit depressed, a bit wound up, still thinking about work, still thinking about the row you had with your other half, you know, whatever it is, wherever you are at, you're sitting in your energy first, because you need to calibrate that before you even start working with the spirit. Because if you've got some stuff which has been on your mind, that's going to get kind of, it's a bit like having impurities in a glass of water. Does that make sense, Stephen? Hopefully that kind of makes, that's just my initial take on it. but generally speaking, spirit will work whatever library you've got in your brain. And I don't think anything's kind of without accident, but you will get the feeling, you will get the difference in vibration. You will get used to feeling, oh, this feels like this is spirit, this is from my higher awareness. Or you'll get the feeling, no, this is me actually just dealing with something and I'm working something through. All good, and it's all relevant, and it's all happening for a reason. That's what's your...
Yeah. You really need a clear mind when you're doing any spiritual work. We, you know, some people have heavy days, you know, and it's just clearing that fog. You know, don't get me wrong, I do have moments and I think of something, I'm like, was that me or was that me? And then I question it, and then I overthink it. So there's been many times where I've think things. But no, as long as you go in with a clear mindset and just breathe, it will come.
And sometimes it's helpful to ask clarifying questions. So if, for example, it is marigolds, and I know that I've been planting marigolds today, and it's my granddad's, blah, 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 and marigolds are important. If you're not getting the body feeling, if you're not getting the somatic feeling or the energy feeling, spirit stepping in closer as a yes, or kind of having the feeling come up, normally it comes up from up the feet.
Yeah.
It feels heavy. It doesn't feel, you know, you feel the energy. It's like, yep. Oh, go back into it. And if that doesn't work, then ask another clarifying question, maybe.
Yeah.
Ask another clarifying question.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Stephen. Super. Thank you, Shaz. Should we give lovely Stephen a nice reading, because he's asked such a fascinating question?
What card are you going for?
So I'm going to go for the mediumship training deck by John Holland. It's a bit of a dip, because I haven't used it for a while. Let's see what we've got for you. This is a nice one. It seems to be a very useful one to use, Stephen. It's doing really well for some of the people in circle. You've done it all jacked to bits, this one. Just gets used an awful lot. What have we got coming up for you? Oh, the invisible shield. This is beautiful. So you've got the invisible shield card, which is an absolutely gorgeous card. So the invisible shield card is talking about exactly as we were talking about. It's talking about feeling the presence of spirit coming close to you and learning to recognize your energy, being able to maintain your energy center, and feeling the presence of spirit coming in and out, your spirit team, your helpers, understanding when you're interacting with people who aren't a great energy. So your energy does weird things when you're in their presence, or if you become enlivened by them. So the invisible shield is very much talking about learning to work with your energy body, your etheric body, however you want to describe it, the energy centers that work within you. And the reason why this is really important, because I get very much the feeling, Stephen, that you are very raw sometimes in your energy, that you can get very, very easily depleted by other people, and start to take on, you're very empathic, start to take on some of that energy. So what I would say to this one is it's a nice invitation from the spirit world to start working with some of these energy practices, to start sitting, recognizing where your energy is, and then start examining some of the relationships and friendships and interactions that you're having energetically and the impact that has on your body. It's also an invitation for you to work with your spirit team, to invite them in to work with you in a slightly deeper way, or to make it more experiential. And that will help with your assurance around where your information is coming from. So I did it because I'm a real feet on the ground scientific person, and I asked spirit that when they work with me, please let me feel you, let me feel the presence of you coming into my energy, because that way I know, and it's purely for me. Spirit don't need that. The recipient doesn't need it. It's purely for me, and my own confidence and my own sense of what I needed at the time. Come in closer to me so I can feel you working with me. So that's my little reading. It's about blending with the spirit. Thank you, Stephen.
That's cute. I did pull a card for Stephen as well. And I feel, Stephen, that you're very versatile. Like, you are juggling a lot of things at the moment. There's a lot going on around you at the moment. You're doing a lot of things. I feel maybe you are taking on a little bit too much. trying to do everything at once. I'm feeling a lot of pressure, heavy. I'm feeling this heaviness and pressure where you're juggling too many things at one time. I also pulled a card for you, and I pulled the shark card in murky waters for you. And you know what I'm getting from that, I'm getting Angel Metatron with that. Angel Metatron. And what they're saying is, please take leadership in your life, because I feel like you're going in different directions, and I feel that you have choices to make and decisions to make. And I do feel you're struggling to make a decision with something going on in your life. Thank you for clearing that, Stephen. What I'm going to say to you right now, I want you to ask yourself what makes you happy at this point in your life, okay? Because I feel that you're at a point in your life where you are drawn, and I feel like you need to make a decision, okay? But it's for your higher good. I'm getting told highest good here. Something that makes you feel good about yourself, okay? And take a step back, okay? Take leadership and direction and move forward in your life, okay? And just take a little time out for you as well, Stephen. I hope that resonates.
Beautiful reading. Thank you. Thank you for confirmation, Stephen. Spot on, Shaz, he says. Amazing.
Thank you.
Look at that, Stephen. That is a payback you get for asking a really interesting, really meaty question, which I really like. So you've got two for price of one there. Love that. Love that. Amazing. Thank you. So please do keep your questions coming. If you've got any questions, then we will answer it. And the ones that are really good, we will give some readings to. Could be one, could be two.
Jessica has a question.
Yes,
you can read that. Lovely.
Okay. I've been told I have a gift, but I just can't shut it off to let anyone in. And that's from Jessica Gore on Facebook. What's your thinking, Shaz, on that one?
Oh, shutting yourself is not good. Not good. I used to get told all the time that I have a gift. They always say gift. What is a gift?
That's a good question.
They say you've got a gift. Well, what gift? yeah. It's like
it's loaded, isn't it?
Yeah. We can call it many things. It's not just called a gift, it's ability. You know, I love what I have. It helps a lot of people healing and everything. It's not just gifts, so I don't always just call it gifts. I wouldn't say shut off from it. I say embrace it. Start talking to people that have these abilities. Get online. Go to these circles, spiritual churches. Open yourself up to it. Okay. It's a big journey. You've got to be ready for this journey as well. And you have to embrace yourself for this journey. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. I'm going to be honest with that one, you know. It's a hard journey to do, but it's a challenge. And I would recommend it to people, and I wouldn't shut off from it, far from it. Don't hold back, just embrace it. Don't shut down, lovely. Just go for it, Jessica. What do you say, Ashley?
Lovely. I was just listening to that. I love the way you put it, and you're right, it's not rainbows, is it? In fact, it's almost the exact opposite. If it's all rainbows and unicorns, you're doing it.
Everyone will be doing it.
You're doing it wrong. And you know what? That's another interesting subject to talk about, actually. You know,
it's a tough
spiritual bypassing. You know, spirituality uses an escape to get away from doing the hard yards. And actually, in the same Stephen's question actually last, is doing the hard yards as well. So my feeling, the intuition I get, and I don't know you, Jessica, just I'm reading your question and I'm kind of hearing that do you feel you have a gift? Are you getting the inkling, Jessica? That's the question I would have to you, because you're my concern. You're the person I'm speaking to. If you are feeling a yearning to ask questions, to learn a bit more, to sit quietly, And sometimes we don't feel it as a big moment where we wake up one morning and we hear spirit talking to us, or we see spirit, or we see orbs, or we experience some amazing mystical experience. Sometimes it isn't like that. Sometimes it is just asking really difficult questions after something you've gone through, which then spurs you on to your journey. Don't put any pressure on yourself. And you know, I know Richard's got his own opinion on this, but sometimes the word gift can be quite loaded, because it kind of implies that it's something you have and why you're not grateful for it. Spirit have given it to you and you should be doing something with it. And for a lot of people who have a lot of things going on in their life, when you think, gosh, I've got this gift and I don't know what to do with it and how to develop it, it can put an awful lot of kind of pressure on you. So as Shaz said, quietly explore it. Sit quietly would be my first thought, and just kind of meditate on it and start talking to spirit. Start talking to spirit. Say, can you just guide me? How am I meant to start this? I'm open.
And I think a lot of people have this, you know, we call it ability, you know, gift, ability, whatever you'd like to call it. It can be whatever you want to call it. There is no word for it, and I'm going to say it because there is no word for it. It's magical. It's wonderful. I would always want whatever I have. I think it's magical, but you have to work on it, and it is tough going. But step by step, get yourself into it slowly. Yeah, and it's a bumpy road, but it's okay. I'm honest.
Yeah, find yourself someone good to talk to. So find your community.
Yeah.
Even if you don't sit in circle, find a community of spiritual people. So you've come to the right place. You know, there are loads of incredible people on SPtv that have been through a lot, had their own experiences, are all at different places in our direction of, you know, spiritual unfoldment, however that looks, and it's different for everybody. And some really interesting speakers and teachers, and just kind of sit back and let it wash over you. Even when you're not in active learning, sometimes we can be in that receptive phase where the things are just, the information's washing over us, and we can hear things and go, that was really interesting. And then maybe get into a bit of a practice where you either journal about it, write about it, think about it, just other questions that come up. Do gently and slowly, and it will all unfold in its own perfect time. There is no rush. There is no rush. It all happens when it happens. Amazing. Hopefully that answered your question, Jessica. Thank you. It was kind of a question answering and a little mini psychic reading in one there. I think that was rather nice. I quite liked how that worked. No cards required. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Really nice question. Really nice question. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, here's Stephen coming back with his confirmation. Thank you both. Thank you, Shaz. Most of the stuff I knew deep down. Oh, okay. Sometimes we are that sacred mirror that kind of like holds up. So this is, okay. But I needed to hear it. Lovely.
You're welcome, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Really nice to have you with us. Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to read out Krish's one? Can you do that one? Do you want me to do that one?
Yeah, you can read out.
Yeah, so it's a question from Krish. I've got a nice big screen, you see, so I can see all of your questions.
I've got
massive text. So a lovely question from amazing Krish. I said, I've been having many dreams from my loved ones in spirit. How do I know it's not my own mind creating these dreams, or if they're visitations? Oh, amazing question. Great question, Krish. What's your thought, Shaz?
I'm a dreamer. I dream.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, I dream a lot, and you know, I always study my own dreams as well. I used to have dream books when I was younger. I've still got them, so I always have a dream interpreter of, you know, what I'm dreaming about. What's it mean? Yes, we do have loved ones visit us. Reason because, you know, we're half asleep. I can put it in my own words. We're asleep and we're relaxed and we're at peace while we're sleeping. And then they pop in and, you know, they could have a conversation with us because, you know, we're asleep. I'm away with the fairies. But yes, loved ones do visit when you're sleeping. Yeah, I have loved ones come and visit me. You know, and it's not only loved ones I get visit. It's just, it could be someone that I don't know in a dream. You know,
That's interesting.
and they've spoken to me, and then they give me little clues and like what's coming up for me, or what does that mean, and then I look it up. It gives me little warning, little things like that. What about you?
Nice. That's interesting. I didn't know about that.
Mm,
I'm just trying to think. I don't often dream, and that's really interesting. Or whether I just don't remember them or not, I don't know. I think after many of the working shifts, and then having children, my sleep pattern's been absolutely disrupted. So, but I don't often dream. When I do dream, it feels like they're deeply spiritual dreams, because you wake up and you remember them, don't you? And they're really clear.
yeah.
I had loved ones visit. No. But then I'm wondering whether actually, because I do sit quietly and I'm in dialogue with my loved ones a lot,
Yeah.
whether actually that requirement is already being fulfilled consciously through intentional working with them. I don't know. It's an interesting question.
Yeah. Your
Need to know
best
more
bet,
about dreams.
I say to anyone that dreams, always have a little journal next to you, or a pen, and if you wake up and you can remember them, write them down, because we don't always remember our dreams. And if you're anything like me, I wake up halfway through the night. Oh, then write it down, because you won't remember the morning. You wake up because like you want to remember that dream, but you forgot it. So have a journal next to you, and then write it down, and then you can look back on it. And there's always Google. You can look up Google, and it tell you what the dream meaning is as well.
Yeah. In fact, I remember having really major dental surgery when I was younger, when I was in my teens. And I wasn't sitting in circle really, because I was a bit too young to be sitting in circle, but I was aware of spirit, and I'd had quite a strong painkillers. And I remember just going and just crashing out on my bed and falling asleep for the afternoon, but having the most amazing visions and meeting spirit guides and traveling to amazing places. And yeah, that's incredible. But you can never get back to that, can you? You remember these dreams really clearly. You think, if I'm just going to go to sleep now, please take me back to that dream. But it just never happens, does it?
Like the teeth dream. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh no.
For me, if I dream of a tooth, or something's wrong with one of my teeth, I always look closer to home or someone around me, because that always indicates for me that someone isn't well or fallen ill. And that's it for me. Yeah, teeth's a no-go for me. No, please don't let me have that dream.
No. Oh, thank you for the question, Chris. That was a really interesting question. So Chris just come back saying her dreams are very clear. Amazing. That's really interesting. So maybe you are like Shaz. You're one of the dreamers, one of the people who
I dream. Yeah.
Prophecies, and incredible. It's really interesting, isn't it? In some kind of like the older texts. And I often wonder, when they talk about prophets and mediums and seers from all of these ancient texts across all the different faith paths and, throughout history, when they talk about the dreaming about and seeing prophecies and, things that are going to happen to people. I wonder whether actually they were asleep and dreaming, or whether it was clairvoyance. I always wonder about that, because obviously it's not a word that's...
I need to look into that more, really, because I am a dreamer and I do get things in my dream, and I've predicted things as well. I have predicted things dreaming.
Wow.
And they come true, some things. So I'm like, ooh, so I need to look into that a bit more.
That's cool.
That's my next chapter. I'm just focusing on one thing at a time. There's too many things.
Never happens like that, does it? Yeah, it's like, I just want to learn this, and then that's not what happens. Amazing. Really nice question. Thank you so much, Krish. Amazing question. Oh, bless you. Thanks for coming and joining us. Super. So yeah, really interesting questions, folks. Thank you so much. I love the Living Spiritually Thursday crew, because you're really thoughtful. You really ask some really interesting, thoughtful,
they're brilliant questions, aren't they?
Really good.
Oh, that's really little for me, Ash.
Yes, that's too small text. Okay, I'll read it out. Really nice. Hello, Barbara. How you doing? Really nice. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. So Barbara, our seagull, has said, for me, when I get tapped in, the steady stream of information that flows through me, it's quite amazing. It doesn't happen all the time, and I can't really control it yet, but meditation really clears the mind to receive information. So I think to get messages, meditation is important. Is absolutely agree with you. And it's interesting you use the term kind of tapped in. And in fact, I'm going to have to tag a friend of mine from Circle in this particular video, in this conversation, because it leads on to another interesting point, which is, and the question was asked, is it right for me to have a constant conversation with spirit? Because they've spoken to somebody else who says, oh, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You should only be talking to spirit in Circle. And I gave my 2 penny worth, which was, well, who are you talking? Are you talking to somebody's loved one, someone's granddad, husband, sister, daughter? In which case, I agree that it only happens when you're intentionally working. That's my take on it. But actually, talking about Barbara, in the energy, she's talking about when you get tapped into that divine guidance. Actually, for me, sometimes it's just a steady stream of information, insight, guidance, wisdom, thought.
I don't feel there is a time, I could be in a car and spirit, I'm connected. I get someone's name come in and they'll be like,
okay,
say for instance, a name would be given to me. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, and then I get certain things why I'm in the car journey, and it's nice.
And is that for people around you who are in the car with you, or your people?
They could be, because if I know that I'm going on a Zoom, or I've got a reading, a fair coming up, I could just get random spirit, a loved one come through, and they could say keywords, certain things. I don't always have it just when I'm going into work, like doing it, it happens. I could be sitting in my front room.
You're open all hours, Shaz.
I'm watching a bit of telly and I'll be like,
oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
With me, it's not just hearing. I do see vision as well. So, I could get a flash, I could get a shadow, I could get it's like a mist of shade or something that just goes past me. So, I'll be like, oh, hello. So I openly speak.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, Shaz is just frozen. That's a really interesting take on it. I suppose everyone is different with the way that they work with spirit. And I can only speak from the way that I was taught and the way that I've got my contract with my spirit people, which is when I'm working 100%. When I'm not working, I need to be able to be at peace and not know that people are dropping in and out, and definitely not having information and messages, because I wouldn't remember to write it down, and it's probably going to be something really amazing that I would then forget, or and it has happened to me before, which is why I stopped doing it. I stopped getting kind of like preloaded information, because I became preoccupied on making that information fit the next time I sat down in front of somebody to do a reading, and that became a bit of a barrier for me. Again, it's just knowing ourselves, knowing our own stuff, and then making that work with your mediumship. It's only happened 3 times I can recall where I've been minding my own business and spirit have spoken to me really, really clearly to give me information, and those 3 occasions were times when there was an emergency that had to be dealt with and they needed to get something across really fast. Yeah, interesting. I love how it's all different. There's one medium I know who gets all of their messages before they sit down with somebody. So they will set some time aside in the time before they do a reading or do a church service, and they will get everything, and it will all be meticulously written down. And then they will stand up and then deliver mediumship, and it will be, it's just amazing, isn't it? Amazing. I'm not sure if it's better or worse to white knuckle it, or just stand up and go, I don't know where I'm going or who I'm with or anything. But here we go. Amazing. You're muted, Chaz. Muted. You've muted yourself, lovely.
There you go.
Can
you hear me?
There we go. I can hear you now. Yeah.
My internet went out just a little bit, so I had to pull myself back. So it was a little glitch. So I apologise.
Don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, it's really lovely. Yeah, super. Really good question. We've got a fab question from Sue. Sue on YouTube. Thanks for coming and joining us, Sue. So the question from Sue is, hi Ashley and Shaz, are there any practical exercises to help attune with energy and spirit? What's your thinking?
Ooh, go on, you take the lead on
No,
this
no,
one.
no. You go, because I'm going to do a little reading for Sue, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Practice practical exercises, energy, spirit. What do you mean by what do you mean? Like before we do like
Yeah, so for you to be able to
circles
tune
and things
into
like
spirit, yeah, before you start working. Yeah.
that?
What practical exercises?
I
Sue
keep
obviously
being
missed
told.
the conversation earlier.
Yes, it did. My internet cut out, so I do apologise to anyone. I had to get back in there quickly. Yeah, that's a good question actually. I always sit down if I'm working with spirit. I sit in my power like Ashley does. So I just sit there and I breathe in, take deep breaths in, and then breathe out, and I just clear my mind. And I put an incense on as well, so. You know, I just get really relaxed and clear my mind. And then I call in who I work with. So I call in my protection always. I always call in for protection because I have to protect my energy, as well as everyone else. So I bring my angels in for that one. And then I call in my ancestors' guides, and loved ones. And then they help me, who I'm reading for as well. So I always have a little ritual as well, before I open up, to spirit. And, if I'm doing cards, I have a little ritual as well. So I think rituals are important. Yeah. How about you, Ashley? Do you have a little one?
Do you know, I used to have the whole thing. And then it gets to the point where, and again, it's just a conversation I had with my spirit team to say, and I was working shifts at the time. So I was working on a really odd shift pattern, and I never knew where, so I couldn't commit to regular things. And sometimes I'd be leaving a circle literally and getting changed in the car to fly out to work. So I kind of said to spirit, I want to keep working with you, but you're going to have to fit in with the life that I've got. So we're not going to have time to have the big prolonged preparation and the big prolonged ritual. We're just going to have to come up with a way between us as a team to be able to move my mind quickly. And so that's what we worked on. Does it always work? No, sometimes, but that's me. That's never spirit. Spirit always there and ready to work. So I guess my take on it would be, work with your spirit team to find out what is going to work for you. There are some days I need more. There are some days I need more. I need to light candles. I need incense, all of the beautiful stuff Shaz was talking about. I need to go for a lovely walk. I need to meditate. I need to have something really beautiful and nutritious and healthy to eat. I need to listen to beautiful music, treat myself really tenderly. And some days it's not like that. Some days it's just, you need to go and do this now. You've got no time, just go and do it. And I see that as what happens in the spirit world with my spirit team and doing mediumship and clairvoyance, the same as I see my chaplaincy work. So I'm a community chaplain, and the same way that you would get a phone call to say there's been a major incident, there's some spiritual support that's needed somewhere in a city centre, and you're stood in a car park at 3 a.m. and you're talking to people about a major incident and tragedies and personal loss. I see it as being the same energy. You're just open, you're receiving, you're open to spirit, and you're just reacting to what you've got. So work with your people still and find out what works for you, and experiment with lots of different things. Amazing. So Sue, very quickly, the card I've got for you is a gorgeous, one of my favorite ones, which is called the Power of Prayer. So this card, what this is speaking to is talking about that sitting quietly, but actually more than that, Sue, because I think you're quite a deep thinker into things, what I'm picking up from your energy. And this is about reflecting on why it is you want to work, why it is you're developing, who is working with you, and who are you in service of. And when I say in service of, I'm talking about that larger power, that universal power, that grace, the divine, the God force, however you want to describe that power. But I think you understand what I'm talking about, because while you're working and I'm developing your mediumship, your whatever spiritual faculty it is, healing, you're in service of that energy. So I am a massive fan of prayer. I know it's hugely out of favor at the moment, and I'm a huge fan of prayer, because for me it's the closest thing we've got to having that soul to soul contact, when you open your heart and you talk from your heart about your spiritual journey. So that's the little card that I pulled for you, Sue. So sit quietly and just open your heart if you can, and talk frankly, heart to heart, soul to soul with spirit, and then see what comes through. See how that influences you.
I did pull a card for Sue, a little one quickly. Be your original self, Sue. Don't be afraid to show the true you, because people are going to love you for who you are. I had many problems sitting back in the corner, and I was scared to show myself. And when you show yourself, your light shines. So don't hide away from your true you. People are going to love you. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
That's gorgeous, Shaz. Oh, Shaz, was that you were talking about as well? Was that you reflecting on your journey?
Yeah.
Gosh.
And that card resonated with me as well. So, you know, I pulled it for Sue, and, you know, is scared to be her true self, her inner self. You know, it's hard. But a bit of confidence is needed, I feel.
Love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shaz. Oh, I love it. I love how you just weave it all together. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for your amazing questions, Sue. Hopefully that answered it. What we're going to do now is, please do keep your questions coming in, and we will get to them, but we're going to take a very short break now for you just to kind of like reflect on all that you've heard. But yeah, please do keep your questions coming in, and thank you for your confirmation, Sue. Thank you, Ashley. Sometimes I can link in a no, it's not at all. Keep trying, keep persevering, Sue. Amazing. Right, we're going to take a very short break. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Yes. You're welcome, Sue.
Help Spiritual Psychics TV grow our TikTok channel. Connect with us at SPtv UK. We're on a journey to reach our next milestone, and we need your help. Follow us today and support us going live. Imagine getting personalised readings, discovering your card of the day, and so much more. Don't miss out on the opportunity to explore new adventures with us. Follow, engage, and transform. Join our growing community at Spiritual Psychics TV with @SPtv UK on TikTok.
Introducing the SPtv app, your digital spiritual guide for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the clairs and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPtv app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Join Adrian and Jay tomorrow morning from 11 a.m. UK time for their show, Spiritual Insights. They'll answer your spiritual queries, conduct guided meditations, and provide oracle card readings to those who actively participate in the show. So, set your alarms and get ready to awaken your inner self.
Join Ashley Robinson tomorrow night from 8 p.m. Ashley offers his spiritual philosophy while answering your questions.
Hello, welcome back. It's really good to have you with us. If you're just joining or you joined just before the break, don't worry, you can catch everything we've been speaking about on catch up or replay. There is an entire back catalogue of every show that's ever been on SPtv on the channel, on the video playlist channel. So please do go back and watch. If you're just joining, hello. Please do say hello, where you're from. Amazing. So we just answered a really interesting question from Sue. And what we're doing this evening is a little bit different, is we are, if you ask a question, we will answer it. And if we're drawn to you, then if it's a really juicy, amazing question about something spiritual, not about whether you're going to win the lottery or the rest of it, then we will, if we're drawn to you, give you a reading. Amazing. So we have got another amazing question from Barbara R. Siegel on Facebook. He says, another question. You're full of the questions. I love it. Ladies, when I get messages for others, I have difficulty tapping into my own spirit guides. Do you ever experience this? Why does it seem to be a block for myself to where I'm seeking knowledge for myself, but for others, I'm extremely intuitive?
Interesting.
What's your thought?
That's very interesting. Spirit guides. Okay, that's a good question as well. Spirit guides. For myself personally, I connect with spirit, but I know spirit guides are there. Okay. I just, the knowing is your intuition. Again, we use that word intuition and knowing. Okay, but I go through spirit. It's like a new connection of channels I'll go through for me, but I do feel them near. I've only ever seen one of my spirit guides. I haven't seen them all. I may never will. So spirit guides is a good question. I always say just listen to yourself, listen to your knowing and your intuition on that one. We do get blocks when we're working with spirit as well. I've had a few of those. Your mind goes blank. I always just sit back, take a breather, just close my eyes for a minute, and then get focused again, get reconnecting again. That's a hard one, but yeah, I do get it. What about you, Ash?
Interesting. So I suppose I'm kind of like trying to piece through the question you're asking, and this is where the beauty of having you in person to talk to you, Barbara, because I'll be able to say, do you mean this or that? And you'll be able to clarify it. So just from what I'm reading into your question, what I'm reading is that you find it easy and not easy. You find it more straightforward to read for other people and have intuitive information about what they need to do in terms of guidance. But for yourself, it's more difficult. You get a little bit blocked with how to proceed and guidance and intuition for yourself. If that's the correct interpretation that I'm reading into it, my take on that would be there's a really good reason why I do more guidance readings for people who are already working mediums, psychics and healers than people who are completely new and looking for guidance. And the reason is that we sometimes we're very invested in the outcome. We're very invested in our life and intuition. So sometimes it's very difficult for us to unpack what is coming from spirit and what is us talking ourselves in or out of a situation. So for me, I can be very intuitive reading for other people, but if it's something that's really important to me and I have a decision to make, or I have to get some guidance about something, it takes me an awful lot of processing to get to the point where I can read clearly for myself or understand it. This is where your body knowledge is one of the earlier questions comes in for me. I'm a very somatic medium. I kind of feel a lot of energy moving around me, and when something is correct, I feel it energetically. This is where that comes into its own, because you can feel the resonance of the energy. Should I do A or B? That one. You might not like it, so sometimes I can be known to keep pulling cards. Go, oof, okay, oof, keep pulling. Okay. And then you get to the point you think, okay, I see what's happening here. But it's nothing to do with spirit. It's purely just you and your own self. And that's why we need to get over ourselves to do this work.
I get a lot. I get asked that for cards. I work with loads of different cards, and it's like when you're reading for yourself. Do you ever read for yourself?
Yeah, all the time.
I read for myself, and I don't always get it right, but I get the gist of it. It's different reading for someone else, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, it's 2020 for someone else.
Yeah, you see a card pull for yourself, and it's like, oh, I don't want to know that one. Let's put it.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Thank you for confirmation, Barbara. Yeah. So maybe that's something to think about with your spirit team. And you know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong. That is a reason why kind of red thread circles or development circles, they don't call them development circles, but closed circles are really good, because you'll be with a group of other people who are already unfolding spiritually, and you're able to have conversations to kind of bring up things that are going on, and you can collectively talk about it. And that's what people who come to the closed circles really enjoy doing. Really enjoy that.
There's all different circles that you can go and meet your spirit guides, meet your loved ones. There's loads. Yeah,
absolutely. So just be kind with yourself, Barbara. You are exceptionally intuitive. You're asking some really interesting questions. So spirit are working with you, and you're doing a good job reading for other people. But sometimes we're so invested, it's really difficult for us to piece it together for ourselves.
Yeah,
really good question. Thank you, Barbara. Beautiful. Lovely. So do keep your questions coming in. There's been loads of them, and if we don't get to them, I'm going to write a check now that Shaz is probably going to hate me for caching. But I like to go back afterwards, and if there's any questions that we didn't get to that were really interesting, or thoughts or comments, I'll go back afterwards and just have a look at them.
Yeah,
to make sure we don't miss anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go through them.
Thank you, because we can't get to everybody, but we will do our very best. Okay. Very lovely question from Kim. I have conversations with my daughter. She has passed. That's really difficult, Kim. But it's beautiful you can have conversations with her. That is really beautiful. So Kim says, I have conversations with my daughter and get responses from her. It's always just responding to my questions. How do I expand this to receive more of a message from her? That's really nice. Beautiful.
Your intake on that, Ashley, I think.
So for me, and this kind of speaks to the last question, and it's about our level of personal investment in the communication that's taking place. And I don't know what your daughter was like as a communicator. I'm getting the inference that it was you were very chatty and very close, and were able to have an awful lot of conversations together. So the question really that I would say is, does she come through other mediums? Have you had communication through her from other mediums and other readings? Has she come through and spoken before? Because sometimes we can get responses to a direct question because it's very quick energy for spirit to work with. If you think about yes/no questions, they don't require very much energy for spirit to elicit the mind-to-mind communication. Also, for us to receive it, it's a very quick receptive. We don't have to do much decoding and much deciphering in order to be able to get the yes or no. You see what I mean? In order to be able to get a fully blown message requires understanding the symbols and the feelings and the visions and the noises and the tastes and smells and all of the things that are coming through from that spirit communicator. And when you are so close to them, it is difficult. If this is recent, I don't know how recently your daughter passed away, but if it is somehow recent, then spirit describe being in grief as being in a fog, which does make it quite difficult sometimes to break through that. But these short questions and short direct responses to direct questions can kind of pierce through that like a lightning strike. You ask a question, the response comes back because that's little energy to elicit that. So I would probably speak to your daughter. You're in a beautiful conversation with her, and just describe how much you would dearly love to work with her, if that's indeed what you want, how you would love her to come and be around you and start to influence and speak to your mind and speak to your heart in that way, and then leave it for her to kind of come to that way of working with you as well. Hopefully that helps, but this is about being gentle, being kind to yourself, and just allowing the energy to expand as you work with her. it may work like that. I know my grandmother, when she comes through to me, she was very direct when she was here, and she's very direct with me now. Would I ever get a very long message about how proud she is of me? And no, I wouldn't get that kind of message from her, because she tends to come in and like, do this, do that, don't do that, because that's how she was. So that's my take on it. Shaz, what's your kind of?
I'm 100% with you on that. Everything you just said. You know, I've lost loved ones, and you know, I lost someone really close to me recently, and it's tough. And I try and reach out, and you know, it's more recently now that I'm getting a lot more. But for me, it's reassurance. I don't need her to come through. She's only come through twice now for me. But I feel it's more feeling now that I get. And that says everything to me, just to reassurance that they're around me. And it's just little signs. Look out for the little signs. It's not all about communication with words. It's the feeling of, well, you know, look out, feel it. They'll be around. They're always around. You know.
And that may be a way. Kim's just come back to say that her daughter has been through before, and she's been in spirit side for 6 years. And we put a time frame on it, don't we? We put a time frame on it, and that's a really interesting point Shaz just made. She may not come through to you as a stream of consciousness, fully fledged, fully developed message, full of guidance and evidence and, you know, proof of survival, but yet she may come through with a feeling of her being very close. You know, to use the example of my grandmother again, I can tell when she's around because I can smell her perfume and I can smell her cigarettes. And my mum, when she hugs me, says, oh my goodness, I can tell Nanny's been around you. She can smell it on my hair and on my clothes. Beautiful physical evidence that she's around, but it isn't a message. So but stay open to it, Kim. Stay open to working with it.
Keep open to it. Definitely.
Beautiful. Lovely, and thank you for your beautiful question, Kim, and wishing you so much love and just heartfelt support. Thank definitely. You for being with us. Thank you.
Some brilliant questions tonight.
Oh, it's been, you know, I love it because it's just a really nice conversation as well. It's the kind of conversations I would love to have in real life with all of you, just sat with a cup of coffee, and amazing. Really interesting question from Gwendolyn Siebert Lacuzzi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I've just massacred that. On Facebook, ask a question around what classes do you suggest for doing death doula work? Oh, really interesting. Do you know? Shaz is frozen again. So in terms of death doula, I know there's an incredible lady called Felicity Warner. Look at my book on my bookshelf. Felicity Warner, who does some amazing courses. If you Google her, she's got a book out called Sacred Oils, and she is the Soul Midwife. I did have it. I've just taken it away. The Soul Midwife Handbook, which is an amazing book. So she's got a book available online, and she does more than death doula. So death doula is a bit of a collective term for supporting people who are close to passing and their families, most importantly, so that they can have a dignified, peaceful, as peaceful as possible, comfortable passing in a place of their choosing. And death doulas work in hospices, they work in, can go into hospitals, but they mostly work in the home environment. So if you're interested in doing this incredible work, Gwendolyn, I know some fantastic people who work in and around death and trying to bring some more spirituality and some more humanity and some more dignity into the way that people pass. Then Felicity Warner is the first one that I know. If not, there is a whole community springing up around death. I think there's the Good Death Guide, which also has an awful lot of practitioners in your area. But yeah, she's the lady I know that a lot of people go through, but there are death doulas popping up and offering courses all over the UK. it is also being looked at with more readily by the NHS and companies like Marie Curie and other charities that work with people who are in hospice care. So I just, more power to you, Gwendolyn. If you are feeling the call to do this, what absolutely glorious spirit work to do. So needed, not only to physically assist people, but also to offer amazing support to the families and loved ones left behind, to prepare them. And I couldn't think of anyone better to do, Gwendolyn, than someone who's a healer and someone who sees spirit like you do. So yeah, amazing. Keep on. Yeah. If I find a link, I might go back into chat and just put a couple of other links. I know Felicity one who does it, and there's another couple of ladies that do courses. Beautiful. Have you heard of, you're muted, Shaz?
Sorry, my internet.
Yeah, that's all right. Have you come across deaf doulas before, or soul midwives?
No, I haven't.
I love it. It's a really ancient practice. It's not a new thing. So it's like, oh,
Right.
It's a new thing. It's not. It's been around for a really long time. So before the Victorians ruined everything, which they and made death very sanitized and very, we don't talk about it. We shut the blinds and it's all behind closed doors and you wear black and you don't talk about it. In almost every society, there are rituals and practices and celebrations and kind of thresholds of the process of the body passing, the physical body, but also supporting the soul and the spirit of the person to pass, and also their loved ones and the community that's being left behind. So there's a massive resurgence in spiritual death and making good death. So in kind of indigenous cultures and shamanic practices, they talk about making a good death, preparing for a good death. Wonderful. Yeah. It's a really beautiful thing. And Richard just chimed in. Yeah, lots of charities offer it. Beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah, soul midwife. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for your lovely question, Gwendolyn. We've got time for another question, I think, and we might try and get one more reading in. One more reading in before we go. So, okay, yeah. Any more questions?
Or should we have a question? Should we have a question
or a reading? Let's probably just keep going and just see. Oh, it's an interesting one from Lisa Bennett. Okay.
This is a question. Yeah.
Thank you for your question, Lisa. I'll read it. So when you give readings, does this exhaust your energy? And if so, how do you re-energize? Shaz, do you want to?
Oh,
yes. How do you do it?
I get I'm exhausted. When I work with spirit, and you're doing readings for people, it does drain our energy. I'm exhausted. Just take a few days afterwards just to refresh yourself, take some time out for yourself. I recommend going out, getting fresh air is the best medicine. Or if you can get out and get some fresh air, doing this work. Card readings, it also takes up your energy as well. So yeah, just taking time out for you afterwards, that regains my energy really quickly. Yeah, bit of me time. Yeah.
TLC. Yeah, it's really important to recognize your your spiritual energy isn't depleted. You'll probably be on a high after doing readings. You'll be kind of like buzzing because the amazing connections and helping people and all of that stuff. But for me, so I've got sensory processing needs, and for me, being in a really noisy room where I've probably not eaten or drunk enough for a long period of time, where I'm having to energetically, nothing to do with spirit, this is purely me looking after me, where I've had to energetically interact with people for maybe a period of 8 hours, is exhausting. It's normal for it to be exhausting. In the same way, working in circle, you've got a lot of energy dynamics which are never really spoken about, and it's only ever spoken about kind of that communication that comes from spirit and your guides to your recipient. But actually, you know, we are energetic beings, and we are taking in multiple data points and multiple interactions that are happening within our body and our soul and our energy body. So just be gentle with yourself. Shaz has given some lovely advice. Go outside. I like to call it my spiritual hangover. So if ever I'm doing anything, the next day I will book the day off of work, and I will try not to make any decisions, and I will appreciate, you know, that I'm probably going to be quite teary and maybe physically depleted and maybe be craving lots of carbohydrates. It's just my body recalibrating after expending a lot of energy. Lisa said you're a Reiki healer. Yeah,
water is needed as well. You get dehydrated as well after lots of readings as well. So water, rest, air, and time for yourself is much needed. Yes.
Yeah, treat yourself like a lovely, very expensive pot plant. You need lots of grounding. So Lisa said you're a Reiki healer and you use your Reiki. Brilliant. Yeah, excellent. You use your Reiki symbols and your energy. In fact, I've got a little Reiki symbol that I take with me, and I kind of pop it inside my pocket. And every time I kind of finish a reading, I'll use that symbol to kind of like cleanse and ground again. Amazing. Thank you so much for your question, Lisa. Really, really good. Really, really good. Thank you. Okay, should we spin the wheel and see if we can get... Oh, we're done. We're done. Oh, I was going to say... I was just saying if we could just have time for one really super quick. Absolutely. One super quick reading in, because you've all been very patient this evening. I have some really great questions. So, do you want to just give us a spin of some names, and then we're going to do a super quick reading. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Amazing.
I apologise if my internet cuts out. It just keeps going on and off. So
you're worth it, Shaz. Don't worry. You're worth it. Super. Anyone you're drawn to, you can choose. You can choose. You can choose. Okay.
Julie. Let's go to Julie.
Oh, lovely picture. Super.
Should we both do Julie?
Yeah, let's do Julie. Yeah, super, super. So I will pull a beautiful card for Julie with the most cutest little one in your profile picture. Julie Friel on Facebook. We know you're here, Julie. If you could just say hello, we're going to pitch you for a very quick reading. Oh, amazing. The card that I've drawn for you is the Animal Kingdom card, which, as you can see, is an absolutely gorgeous one. So the Animal Kingdom card is about finding the joy in your communication and the pureness of heart. It's about recognizing that moment of connection that we get when we're reunited, primarily with our very loved ones in the spirit world, but any of our family members in the spirit world. That moment of joy, of connection, is also talking to me as well about healing and the amazing need for healing that's around you at the moment. Feeling a bit tired. We've just been talking about this, a bit tired and depleted, but there's a real drawing of healing which is being sent from the spirit world towards you. Hopefully that makes sense for you, Julie, and you could take that one. Thank you.
Julie, I've just pulled a card for you, lovely. Let's see what we get for this. I was just seeing if I could pull any more quickly else that comes through. Out. I'm getting with you. Oh, you need a bit of you time, lovely. Find that what you love to do. Find a connection with yourself, that what you're passionate for. I'm hearing music. I do feel that you connect with music. Find passion in like drawing or a creativity side. Bring out that side of you. Because I feel that your mind is focused on too many things, and you need to take some time out for yourself just to get creative, have a hobby. I feel like you can make something. Are you creative, Julie? You know, do you like to get out the pencils and the colours and things like that? But I do feel music around you. I feel like you need to sit and listen and just take some time out for you, lovely. Time is needed. I feel very anxious around you at the minute, Julie. I'm feeling that exhaustion. I'm feeling chaotic at the moment. But yeah, and I'm getting that you need to manifest. So it's time for manifestation. So do what your heart desires, lovely. Just do what your heart desires.
Amazing, lovely message. Thank you so much. Yeah, we both connected with that energy of you looking after yourself, Julie. So thank you so much for letting us read for you. Hopefully that makes sense. If it does, we could just put a quick confirmation in the comments. That would be amazing for us. But that's
Love music.
Amazing. Oh, well done. Super. Thank you for letting us work with you, Julie. Amazing, amazing. Oh, my lovely Kate's on. Oh my goodness, Kate, it's so good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Beautiful Kate, very dear friend. Oh, I'm really pleased you enjoyed this.
Oh, it's amazing.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's been with us this evening. I can't say how much of a special place in my heart my Thursdays with you all is. It's really lovely. And I love coming on during the week and kind of listening to other people's shows and saying hello to friends on it. It's really nice. So thank you for joining us.
I love the questions tonight. They've been really interesting. I have enjoyed the questions tonight.
Yeah, really thought-provoking, really beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. And Shaz, it's just a joy. It's just a joy to work with you. It really is. I love your thoughtful responses.
Yeah, I am a bit out there, bit wild.
Yeah, lovely. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Please do tune back in tomorrow morning. I think it's 11 o'clock, where there's a show with Adrian and Jay at 11 o'clock. And then is Mr. Ash on it. Yeah. And Ashley is on at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. So tune in for that. But we will see you again in 2 weeks' time, everybody.
Yes.
Be good.
Take care.
Look after yourselves. Cheerio.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.